Hello, Josh George. It's time for some college football, week 7 predictions. Got some good ones. Really liking it this week. Let's roll in. We're not talking about last week. It was only okay. We're going to move past it to this week. Huge week. A lot of games going on. Now, we're going to start with, obviously, the Clemson-Florida State game here. The thing I like about this one is the pass rush for Clemson. That's pretty much why I'm going to pick Clemson. Clemson is averaging 7 sacks per game. The key for Florida State in pulling the upset will be Justin Blackman. Can he scramble? Can he get away from the pressure? Can he make bad plays into good plays? For Clemson, they're going to win because they're the better team. And the key is don't beat yourselves. Don't have a lot of INTs. Don't turn the ball over. Needless to say, I like Clemson 35, Florida State 13. Now, Texas A&M at home, 12th man, going up against the Crimson Tide of Alabama. Can Kellen Mond lead his team in the 12th man to a big victory? Last time they had a big game against a team that was a likely playoff favorite. They looked pretty good last year against Clemson. This year, I think it's going to be a doozy. The FBI only gives Alabama an 83% chance to win as far as the FBI is concerned. They think it's going to be a semi-close game, and the 247 talent composite thinks that these teams are really close together. They have Alabama obviously ranked number 1, Texas A&M ranked 12th. I really think A&M could step it up and give them a game, maybe expose some problems that Alabama's been having in their secondary and on defense. But I'm going with the gut. My gut says Alabama 30, Texas A&M 17. Now, USC at Notre Dame. We don't know which quarterback's going to go for USC. We really don't know who's healthy. Is it going to be Fink? Who is it? Frankly, they didn't look good against Washington. It was a 28-14 loss. I feel much more confident about this Notre Dame team. Notre Dame, just be ready for whatever quarterback you're going to face. And I've got confidence in the defense. And can USC find the trick plays? I'm sure they'll be energized for the rivalry game. I think some trick plays, some big plays, keep them in it, maybe win it at the end is how, if USC is going to pull the upset, that's how they're going to have to do it. But I think Notre Dame can find a way to win this one. I have Notre Dame 27, USC 10. Now, I put this one on here because I think Georgia could kind of get exposed a little bit in this one. South Carolina's averaging 30.6 points per game. Ryan Hinsky has been a pretty good quarterback for South Carolina so far. It's their defense, which is allowing 24.4 points per game in the SEC. That scares me for South Carolina. And in the series, Georgia leads South Carolina 51-18-2. Georgia pretty much dominates this one. So even if they do get exposed a little bit, I think their offense, Jake Fromm and the boys, put up 40. I have the Dogs beating the Gamecocks 40-31. Now, we've got some Tennessee Vols on this channel that I know about. So that's one of the reasons this one made the slate. Tennessee's one of the most dangerous 1 and 4 teams in the country. After leading last week 14-10 to Georgia. They really just kind of fell asleep, let it slip away. I think they have a lot of untapped potential. It just needs to be let out. They're averaging they've got 20 first downs this season. Or 20 first downs. They had 20 first downs against Georgia. It was the 2 turnovers that really killed them. I think they could have hung around, maybe won that game. But their run defense struggles. That's why I like Mississippi State. Kalen Hill, really good running back. The key for him, run the ball, find a way to win in the end. I have Mississippi State beating Tennessee 24-20. Now, Michigan State at Wisconsin. I think this is a really intriguing matchup. Jonathan Taylor, we all know, the Heisman candidate, and he's going up against Michigan State's defense. They have 18 sacks so far this season, and they've had a really good rush defense, 4th in rushing defense. The question about Michigan State, can Lewarke lead the offense to score against a Wisconsin team that has had 3 shutouts this season? I think it's a defensive battle. I don't know how Wisconsin's going to get 11, but I have the Badgers 11. I have Michigan State 10. Iowa hosting Penn State. Coming off a loss. This is one of those 50-50 games. To me, it's kind of a pick-em. Who's going to show up? Last week, Stanley was kind of flat. Stanley, he got sacked 8 times. Clifford looked really, really good. He's got 12 touchdowns this season on only 2 interceptions. Another defensive battle. Iowa's ranked 5th in total defense. Penn State 14th in total defense. But Iowa has not beaten Penn State since 2010. In fact, Penn State's won the last 5 matchups and leads the series 16-12. Something about this one, though, it's another gut pick. I'm going the Hawkeyes. I've got Iowa 21, Penn State 20. The Big Cotton Bowl game. Red River rivalry game in Dallas. A doozy. This is maybe the game of the year as far as the Big 12 is concerned. You can throw out the records and the rankings. There's a lot of intriguing stats here. On 3rd down, Texas's offense is ranked 3rd in the nation in 3rd down offense. The Sooners are ranked 2nd in the nation in 3rd down defense. Now, turnovers play have a huge say in rivalry games. OU is ranked 27th in turnover margin. The Texas Longhorns are ranked 34th in turnover margin. In turnovers gained, they are both tied at 62 in the nation. Now, in this particular game, I know they're both kind of air raid teams that rely on the pass, Big 12-oriented kind of teams, but it's the rushing stats that blow me away and might make the difference in this one. OU ranks 4th in rushing offense, Texas 62nd. In rush defense, Texas is 40th, Oklahoma is 70th. Can Grinch do it? Can OU really show how good they really are? Can Texas prove that they're back? I think that question gets answered in Dallas. I have the Sooners 35, Longhorns 28, big time shootout. Now, Louisville at Wake Forest. Could be really good game. Wake Forest, they found a way to get to 5-0. But when you look at these teams and you look at some of the stats, it's going to be a close game. Their points against, Louisville has 26 points allowed per game. Wake Forest 21 points allowed per game. Points that they're getting a game. Louisville scoring 32.4. Wake Forest scoring 35.8. I think the key to the game is Stag Surratt, wide receiver for Wake Forest. Can Louisville cover him? Can he get opened in the second against their secondary? I think he makes a difference. I have Wake Forest 28, Louisville 24. Now, Baylor also 5-0. Texas Tech, they looked really good against OSU, winning 45-35. Jet Duffy showed that he can run, and he can. But Matt Rule has a team whose margin for victory is 23.3. That's more than 3 touchdowns. I like the Bears. 35-28. Now, my pick of the week for the upsets. The reason I've got Minnesota in this one, row the boat. Statistically, they're an average team. To be perfectly honest, they're only 40th in total defense, 83rd in total offense. But the eye test, they find a way to get it done. I like them against the number. Now, the game of the week, the Florida Gators at LSU. I think this one's an intriguing matchup. LSU, though, 3rd in total offense. And a team that claims to be DBU. I think they're a really good team, and they're at home. The key for Florida, can P. Ryan get off and running? He's got 327 yards, 4 touchdowns this season. He kind of took advantage of Auburn when they were tired and secured the victory. The thing is, I don't think LSU's offense is going to miss some of the chances that Auburn did, and playing at home, the false starts will be on Florida's end this week. I like LSU Tigers, even though their defense allowed 38 to Vanderbilt in Texas. I think they can hold Florida under that number, so I have LSU 38, Florida 30. Josh George, college football.